growth, and do you really think that you can sustain this kind of performance, because it's been a solid quarter for you?
Well, definitely our endeavor at Zee has always been to outperform the market, and I'm very confident that both on advertising, on subscription, on the broadcasting business, we will outperform the market. On the Z5 side, as you would have seen the numbers, we have yet again been at the forefront of changing the paradigm of the OTT business. We have emerged in a little over 6 months as the second most favored OTT player in the country, and I only hope to go from strength to strength from here.
Could you also highlight the investments made in Z5 and elaborate more on what the content deal with Jio really brings on the table for you?
So we have on the investment sides on Z5, we have had significant investment both in marketing and in content. We've already launched 29 original series on the platform. Our endeavor over the next 12 months is to bring almost close to 500 to 600 hours of content, original content on the OTT player. We also intend to have digitally first premiered films that we'll bring on Z5. Our investment levels, as we have guided for in the past, that despite our investments in Z5 and on the broadcasting business, we are comfortable enough to say that we will be ahead of 30% plus EBITDA margins going forward.
Right. What is the outlook on your new OTT platform in terms of content and how it has contributed to top line growth? What is the outlook on digital as well, if you could add that in?
Absolutely, very, very aggressive. It has already started contributing to the advertising line of the company. It's still a small number compared to the overall performance, but with 41 million monthly active users and 31 minutes of daily time spent, I'm very confident that that number will ramp up very, very fast. Our current consumption is still largely on the AVOD platform, and as we introduce more and more content behind the paywall, I expect the subscription numbers also to ramp.
Right. It's been strong ad revenue growth yet again. You know, you're beating your own benchmark, which is encouraging to see. Has it been driven by, you know, a comeback in market share gains and resumption in ad spends? Or will you be able to sustain double-digit ad revenue growth as you have, in fact, upped it to 23% year on year?
So our advertising growth is driven largely on the back of our market share gains, not just in Hindi, but even in the regional languages. And we hope to sustain significant growth in the advertising revenue. While industry is pegged to grow at about 12%, we expect to be in the mid to high teens kind of number for the full year.
You know, while the bigger question rather, Punit, for the market is, will you continue to see this kind of strong performance led by market share gains in your flagship channels? And can we expect continued strength in your regional markets as well?
Well, within this quarter itself, we have gained almost 70 basis points on the back of both Hindi as well as the regional languages. With the addition of Zee Keralam, which is launching in December this year, we expect to expand our market share further, and definitely that will aid in growth in advertising revenue for us.
And where is it that you see your domestic as well as international subscription revenues headed, and what's contributed to the growth in the second quarter?
So domestic subscription is driven largely by phase 3 monetization. It is a base correction that we are seeing. A part of the revenue also is coming from catch up of the previous quarter, where the agreements got signed in this quarter. On the international side, we expect the traditional broadcast business subscription to be flat, but with the launch of Z5 in the international markets, in the next 2 to 3 quarters, I expect to see ramp up in subscription revenue there as well.
Give us a sense as to what the outlook is for the company in terms of margins, revenues. What's the strategy in place?
So our guidance on margins is going to be 30% plus. In terms of revenue, we'll be ahead of the industry, both on advertising and on subscription side.